Welcome to California's Foodland, and I'm your host, Robert Thompson, and here's your co-host, Mr. Rossco Soletrain.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to talk about California's base food joints, chains, restaurants. That's what we get into on this show.
Yeah, man.
We do it in our kooky little fashion.
And we go small, we go big, and we also go our favorites as well. And today this is not necessarily my favorite, but it's a place that I hold in high esteem and did for a long time, and rightfully so. Hot dog on a stick.
Hot dog on a stick,
wow,
boy.
Yummy, man. Yummy, yummy. Great uniforms.
Yeah.
Smashing those lemons. You know? Dipping those dogs.
It's an iconic
dog dipper.
Dog dipping spot, you know?
It sure is, man.
But before we get into that, we're going to go to my favorite segment.
Your favorite segment.
A fast food minute. Enjoy.
This is Fast Food Minute with Zach Hillman. Arby's might be known for somehow giving you diarrhea with cold cuts, but the chain also holds the record for the longest commercial ever aired. Clocking in at 13 hours, the spot took over Duluth, Minnesota airwaves in 2014, featuring an uninterrupted shot of a brisket being smoked. Even wilder, Francis Ford Coppola's director's cut runs 40 minutes longer and features a scene where the brisket gleefully sodomizes Marlon Brando to the doors break on through. The horror. The horror.
Man.
Hot dog on a stick, man.
Yeah, hot dog on a stick.
Wow.
It's crazy.
We made it here, dude.
I know. We've talked about this for a long time.
We have. So I really wanted my girlfriend to be a guest on this podcast because she was a hot dogger for a long time.
No way.
Her best friend worked at Hot Dog on the Stick for 10 years.
Yeah.
Hot Dog on the Stick put her best friend through college. Priscilla's sister worked at Hot Dog on a Stick as well. There's a long line of hot doggers that my girlfriend knows, and so I wanted to have her on. Unfortunately, it's not the way it worked out, but I got her to write me out a little message, and I wanted to start off the podcast with this message, just so that way we can get into the history and stuff. But let's just hear it from the horse's mouth right here. From somebody that loved Hot Dog on the Stick, and it says this. It says, Hot Dog on a Stick was a great place to work. They paid us more than all the other fast food chains in the food court. We're going to get back to the food court soon. They gave us 2 free items a day. They used quality ingredients and took pride in their customer service. Some of my favorite memories were answering the phones, and she says that you were answering the phones and saying, "Thank you for calling Hot Dog on a Stick Santa Rosa, where the lemonade is always fresh and the hot dogs are always good." And she's told me that this before. I always thought it was a joke, but that's exactly what they had to say. They were allowed to give free samples out to the customers. They taught us all how to count change back to customers, and it's still something that she uses to this day. We changed our oil out daily, and then Burger King would come over and ask to take it.
Whoa.
There would be the occasional creep that would watch us bounce on the lemons to make the lemonade, but we got to work with our friends and a really great corporation. As someone who worked there for years, I would still order anything off the menu, and I know that it would be just as good as when I made it. She also dipped her finger into the deep fryer once.
Ooh.
Yeah, and had some terrible burns, and
Damn. So did she have like the corn?
She kept working too.
Did she have like the batter around?
And she ate it.
Yeah, and she ate it like a hot dog on a
Small
stick.
meal, but it was okay. But yeah, she always had a lot of great things to say about Hot Dog on a Stick working for them. They wanted her to keep working there. She loved it. So
that's cool. It's great to hear a firsthand experience.
For sure, man. Because I mean, as far as me and you have both worked in fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
CC's.
Yep.
And then I worked at KFC.
Yeah.
But, and I'm still working in food service to a certain extent, just in a different area.
Capacity.
Yeah. But still, it's like, you know, I see these people and I know a lot of the people and I respect the hustle of food service. It is a hard job.
Yes.
And working for a company that you like is makes all the difference in the world. So my hat goes off. I tip
your
the
hot
hat.
dog stick hat.
I wish I had one of those.
I know.
I tried to buy Hot Dog on the Stick merchandise, especially old Hot Dog on the Stick merchandise, is really tough to find.
Yeah.
And I found a old 80s Hot Dog on a Stick sweatshirt.
Whoa.
But it was just a little too expensive.
You know the hats you can't find.
No.
And you know, they purposely want them to be like, it's like a Disney cast member.
Big time. Yeah.
Where you can't take the hat home.
No, they have lockers in
That's
the back
wild.
where they have all the hats and stuff. And in fact, some locations, the lockers will basically be the size of a hat.
So if you find like a hot dog on a stick hat,
You grab
it's
it.
like smuggled.
Big time.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that hot dog on the stick sweatshirt that I found, I should have bought it. It
Am
was
I-
just a little too expensive.
That's so cool, though.
man,
Yeah.
It was cool.
Those hats, if you find them, they might as well be from North Korea, from the North Korean hot
Yes.
dog on a stick location.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
not a sanctioned franchise.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into that too. But
Heck
anyway,
yeah. Let's do
so
it.
all right, so let's just get this history going. So Dave Barnum, sorry, not Barnum. Dave Barham dipped out of Detroit and got a job at Lockheed before eventually deciding to pivot completely. And in 1946, he opened up a place called Party Puffs. The original complex was simple: ice cream and lemonade, but he soon began serving his mom's recipe of hot dogs on sticks with a unique batter coating and deep frying them to create a crispy golden crust. This was the start of a name change: Hot Dog on a Stick, and the stand at Muscle Beach was born. Bodybuilders and volleyball players were a built-in clientele. I think they actually call their batter Party Batter, which is very interesting.
Like, it means so many things.
Yeah, for sure. At the time, he only hired young girls. He put them in those slick uniforms and called them all hot doggers. In 1949, the success of the original stand expanded to county fairs. He was powering the hot dog stands with his Lincoln Continental as a generator. That led to opening up a bigger location on the Santa Monica Pier at Pacific Ocean Park, which was a park that was supposed to rival Disneyland, and then Disneyland just basically fucking ripped him to pieces. But that move really popularized that unique shack.
Isn't it called, the original spot is Hot Dog Stick?
Well, yeah,
Right?
it used to say hot dog stick. It didn't say hot dog on a stick. It just said hot dog stick. But we're going to get to that because that location was very special.
Okay.
That original location, which was the original Party Puffs. In the 60s and 70s, 1962, Hot Dog on a Stick expands to a third location on the Redondo Beach Pier. This third location is the only independently operated hot dog on a stick. It's actually called Craig's Hot Dog on a Stick. It's still in existence to this day. And that's the only location that somebody else owns. It's super cool that it's
That's
still there.
so unique, yeah.
So next time you're in Redondo Beach at the pier,
Go to
go to
Craig's
Craig's.
Hot
Yeah,
Dog on a Stick.
yeah. Because I looked at their social media. It looks like they have a blast over there.
That's awesome.
They were also getting into a new concept, which was getting into shopping malls, which was this was not happening at the time in the 60s. A lot of stores did not want you to bring food in at all, rightfully so, because you're going to get fucking food on the merchandise or spill drinks and things like that. So Hot Dog on a Sticks moved into food courts.
Wow, wait, so okay.
So they basically invented the
food court. Yeah, because when you think of the iconic food court spots, Orange Julius, Sbarro's,
Right.
Hot Dog on a
Hot Dog on a
Stick,
Stick.
Panda.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, holy crap. So Hot Dog on a
They were
Stick.
the first to start it. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. So they then started shifting. That became a hit. So then they started thinking we should get into more amusement parks. That's kind of where they started anyway. And they also wanted to get into airports. 1990, Dave Barnum passed away. Or 1991, Dave Barham passed away. He left the company to his employees. So his employees ran the company. They expanded internationally. Locations in Japan, the Middle East, the Philippines, further establishing itself as a global fast food brand.
I just imagine, like, when he died, it's like the Senate in Rome, but all their togas have, like, the hot dog on a stick, like, color scheme, like the stripes.
That'd be so great.
And they're wearing the hats, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Hot dog on a stickers.
So
Up my asses.
at one point, I forgot to mention this, but at one point, they started calling their employees stickettes.
Really? Stickettes?
Yeah, they're so they didn't do the uniforms at first. I think it was a few years after. I want to say like 5 or 6 years after, where they switched over to the color scheme, and that's when they started. Because they originally called the people that made the hot dogs hot doggers.
Yeah.
But then they changed their name to stickettes, and because he only hired girls, and stickettes. It's pretty funny. But eventually they went back in the 90s. They went back to be calling hot doggers again. They continued to expand into the 90s. They now have locations in Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Utah, Colorado, Georgia, Florida, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, International, Japan, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and the Philippines. In the 2000s, a hot dog on a stick introduces new menu items, including frozen lemonades, cheese on a stick, funnel cake, pretty much catering to customers' preferences.
Wait, when did Cheese on a Stick come out?
In the early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah. It might have even been the late 90s.
Dude, that was my brother's favorite. He would
which
always get it. The cheese on a stick.
Because there's I think there's cheddar and then there's the pepper jack. Pepper jack's the way to go. That shit's so good.
So good.
In 2014,
And it melts.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's perfect. They even got a food truck in the 2000s, joining the revolution of food trucks.
Whoa.
In 2014, Hot Dog on a Stick celebrated its 70th anniversary, and that's the same year they also sell to the Global Franchise Group. So now it's not employee-run anymore. It's run by the Global Franchise Group. In 2021, Hot Dog on a Stick. So this is a point of, in Los Angeles, I'm a big fan of, like, any kind of history that we can keep around is a good thing. For instance, a shithole company like Taco Bell, or whoever their parent company is now, I can't even remember.
Yum, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's Yum Brands.
Yeah.
So they kept the original location. It was going to be bulldozed, and people were like, not even that many people, but a handful of people. I'm not kidding you. Like maybe 100 people were like, no, you can't bulldoze the original Taco Bell location. And Yum Brands was like, oh shit, let's just uproot it and put it at our company headquarters. So they did. They just saved the original Taco Bell location.
Oh, wow.
Hot Dog on a Stick, or should I say, the people over at Global Franchise Group, the building was in disarray and it was a small location. Okay, cool. It's an old building. Of course it's going to be fucked up. In 2021, they finally demolished their their original location.
Oh, man.
It was reported right before the pandemic that they were going to do this, but it wasn't until a year later, on March 15th, 2021, a day before my girlfriend's birthday, there was, as far as I can see, there was no attempt on keeping the original structure at all.
Did they have the hot doggers like use jackhammers?
Dude,
Like,
that would have been hilarious. Like, they didn't even save the lettering, so that where it said hot dog stick, they didn't even save it. There's a video. It's actually kind of a funny video.
This is the Santa Monica one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So it's gone.
It's back, but it's not the same building. It just looks like I mean, they tried to make it look like the original building, but dude, it's not the same building at all. Like that little stand was like this cute little. In my opinion, it should have been a historic building.
Historic
Or at least Hot Dog on a Stick should have taken that original structure, or at least the front facade, and done whatever they could to save it.
Yeah.
They didn't even save the lettering. Nothing. There's this video where it's crazy. Like one guy one of the construction workers almost gets his fucking head taken off by like an excavator.
Damn.
He's like, "Whoa!" It's pretty funny. Yeah, you can see some of the lettering smashed up on the ground. Like it's a fucking shame that none of that was saved. I guarantee if there was a they could have hired a contractor to come through with someone who could like save that, some kind of Santa Monica Preservation Society. Sorry, I'm boring you.
No.
But lack
of sleep.
It's fucking. It's sad they didn't save that. So,
I want to dream about Hot Dog on a Stick right now.
So
yeah.
I made a post when this happened years ago on Instagram about that location. And I said what a shame that they demolished the spot. And Hot Dog on a Stick actually commented on the post.
Oh yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to be back better than ever." And I'm like, well, you're missing the fucking point." So I pulled a quote from one of their CEOs or somebody, and it says, "The Hot Dog on a Stick Muscle Beach location is where our brand's history began, and we are forever grateful to the locals in the area for giving us such an amazing start. For over 75 years, it's been our pleasure to serve up smiles with our fresh hand-stomped lemonade and signature stick offerings. We build a unique experience that people seek out, and while not losing our authenticity. We are confident that our guests will love our refreshed look, which will set us up for the next 75 years of business. While the building will be getting the makeover it deserves, the location itself will still maintain that nostalgic feel with smiling hot doggers ready to serve you." It's such a tone-deaf response to them demolishing a historic building. It's really, and when you see that building, it's a lot bigger. It's not the fucking same at all. they demolished their original structure. And I do think that there could have been a better effort to save
Preserve
that structure.
Yeah.
Not even preserve it. Just uproot the structure if possible, or take something from it. At least the lettering.
Yeah.
As opposed to just demolishing, just bulldozing it right to the ground, which is what they did.
That's like if they bulldozed Disneyland and then they like opened one across the street and was like, oh, it's the same
Well, or just bulldozing, let's just say, not quite the same.
Matterhorn.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to do that eventually. You know? But
The
thing is,
Deja Vu in Montclair.
Exactly. Disneyland wouldn't demolish the matter. Well, they would demolish it if they had to, but the thing is like Disneyland's really good about saving chunks of things and preserving whatever they can. But the thing is about the Matterhorn in particular is like it's the same thing with that building. It's an old building.
Yeah, there's got to be ways that they could have preserved. It's a historical thing,
you can
dude.
See
yeah,
you can see the signage smashed on the ground.
that sucks. Yeah, because dude, Deja Vu to
Exactly.
bring it back. They are a strip club in Montclair at this location, and it's been there forever. It used to be bright pink, and there was a motel next, Deja Vu Motel,
Perfect.
but it has somehow survived so many incarnations. It was a gift shop only. It was a
Deja Vu was?
gay nightclub. It was and it's still just the Deja Vu. It's fully come back. It's fully somehow.
It's back with Deja Vu now?
It's
not a
now
game
just the Deja Vu boutique upstairs, but it's gone
Oh.
through all these incarnations as Deja Vu. Different. It's kind of like Panda Express on a very small scale, where they've like tried different things.
yeah.
But somehow, if Deja Vu in Montclair
Right.
could stay, Hot Dog on a Stick could
Exactly.
stick around.
It's kind of like the Mormon Church or the Seattle Mariners. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Or,
They're
Bart
formidable.
Simpson. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
dude.
Yeah, exactly. Or,
Yeah.
a plastics company out of Shanghai. It's
Yeah.
similar.
So where?
Sorry.
So where do we see Hot Dog on a Stick right now?
So it's interesting because I thought that Hot Dog on a Stick was a lot bigger. They opened back up the Muscle Beach location. They opened it back up October 28th, 2022. So not even a year ago. It's like another 250 square feet. So it's like a bigger size. It looks similar, but it just looks like a corporate, store now. I'm just amazed that there's just it's so weird that they didn't try to do anything. I know of like there's this place called the Astro Motel, for instance, which is like this beat to shit crackhead. It was a beat to shit crackhead motel in Santa Rosa, and this dude came through from New York and bought basically the block. And you should see what he's done to this place. Not only what he's done to the place, but what he saved. Like there's these beat up old plastic signs that he saved and repurposed into different stuff. And it's all around the complex to pay tribute to its history as this old crackhead motel. And that's just one crackhead motel in fucking Santa Rosa. And the place is a showpiece now.
Wow.
It's absolutely stunning. And I got a tour of the grounds the other day, and it's like you look around and like, oh, there's one of the old signs. Oh shit, there's one of the old signs. Like, damn, this place is unbelievable what they've done. And it's just one guy who owns the place. Hot Dog on a Stick smashes their building. Anyway.
Yeah, I get it though. I get what you're saying, because it's weird to think, all those big chains, fast food chains, most of the OG locations that don't exist anymore, it's been a long time, and a lot of them have been gone for a long time.
Right.
But like now I feel like you'd feel like even more, hey, it's more special now that it's survived.
It's weird, like even like the old operating the first operating or the oldest operating McDonald's in Downey. Like you would think that they would do more of a showpiece kind of situation over there, but it's almost like they just built the little museum and then just forgot about it in like 92.
There's like a Speedy in front of that one, right? I think they have a Speedy.
Yeah, they do. It's strange that you would think that they're so big and they have enough money.
They have enough money to make that like a little amusement park.
Yeah, I mean, think about what In-N-Out Burger did when they rebuilt and recreated their original location.
Yeah,
that's just like keeping your branding. Like, why wouldn't you want to preserve your branding?
Yeah,
I don't know. But right now, where the company sits is they have 45 locations. I thought they were a lot bigger than they are. 45 locations, 15 of which are in California, And out of that 15 locations in California, other than the Muscle Beach location, every single one of them is at a mall.
Oh wow! So that's it now.
That's it. There's 30 other locations in the rest of the U.S., but 15 of those so a third of them are in California.
Well, so only Santa Monica here
is
separate.
Yeah. It's weird because you can see the pride of the people that work. So I was doing some digging and I found on KCET. I think it was KCET.com. I found an old Visiting with Huell Hauser episode at the Muscle Beach Hot Dog on a Stick. And I want to say it was the granddaughter of Dave. It was either the granddaughter or his daughter, one or the other. I want to say it was his granddaughter. And you can see how excited she is that Huell's doing an episode about Hot Dog on a Stick, number one. You can also tell how excited random people are to be interviewed by Huell on the street because they're all pumped that Huell's on the street. And they all come up to him. Hey, how you doing, Huell? I'm a big fan of the show. And then he just starts interviewing them. It makes for really awkward banter. But the episode is fucking classic. I wish it was on YouTube. It's only on KCET.com.
Oh, wow. I grew up watching KCET.
Did you?
Local TV.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, if you ever want to watch this episode, I can't remember the name of it.
Wow, look at that hot dog.
It's a great episode.
Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, because we're all familiar with, or not we're all, but a lot of us are familiar with a lot of the Huell Hauser episodes and, like Visiting or California's Gold. But at the end of it it's the weirdest ending to a Visiting or a California's Gold episode you've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, it's there's this random ass didgeridoo player, and Huell finishes the episode by sticking his mic. Oh, sorry, puppy. Sticking his mic into the didgeridoo's horn, and this lady is just some weird random hippie lady is just blowing this didgeridoo right in front of the location, and it's probably a good, I don't know, maybe 40 seconds of just this fucking random. It's so good. It's just this is really weird.
Hot dog on a stick, mate. Yeah.
It's very odd, but. So that's where Hot Dog on a Stick is now. 45 locations, 15 of which are in California. Most of them, or if not all of them, are either at malls or airports.
I saw. It's funny because it's such an iconic mall spot, and I feel like it's got to be known throughout the country and world, just because of those iconic colors and the. So we didn't talk much about that, but the. Smash. What is it called? The stomp.
Oh,
the hand stomp.
Yeah.
So the hand stomp.
Yeah.
Is legendary because there's a lot of perverts. No, but it's
it's something that you can. It's visual and oral. You can hear it, so you can see it and you hear it, and it's this sign of something being handmade. They don't have to hand make that shit.
No.
But it's a part of what they've
experience.
always done, and their biggest seller. Is still lemonade.
Yeah, because they're smashing the lemons.
Yep.
It's from scratch. It's so cool. Yeah, the lemonade is so good.
It's so good.
Fuck.
Even their frozen lemonade.
God, I wish. What's the closest one to here?
Glendale Galleria.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Which is the OG Panda.
Yeah, it is.
Home.
Yeah, and the last time I went to a Panda, or not a Panda Express, last time I went to a Hot Dog on a Stick was at the Burbank Mall. When I got a little visit to Cartoon Network when it was Burbank. Now it doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I got a chance to go over there, and I went with some of the animators over to the Burbank Mall, and we went to the Hot Dog on a Stick there. And it was the first time because some of the locations they don't have it. I got some frozen lemonade, and it's delicious. I mean, it's just frozen.
It's so
fantastic.
good.
But yeah, man, Hot Dog on a Stick I'm curious to see how the company is now in 2014 after it got taken over.
Yeah,
in 2014. I'm wondering if the culture is different over there or what. But from what I was told by my girlfriend and her best friend and her sister, everybody has nothing but great things to say about Panda or about Hot Dog on a Stick.
I know that they take a lot of pride in it, the owners and the company did, and
yeah, big time.
I know that they said they wanted to make sure that you're reminded of the smiling service that you remember how generous and friendly they are to you.
Yeah, definitely, and even on that Huell episode, the Visiting episode, there's some things that they're saying, like some of the employees are saying to Huel, and Huel's like, wow, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what it says in the handbook. So they're like, they drill their customer service. Like customer service is paramount to their success. And that's why I think that they've been such a well-loved and established brand for all these years.
Yeah, that's wild. I want to go to one so bad, and I want to, just feel that cheese melt in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I've never had
into my ass.
Yeah. I've never had a hot dog on a stick. They're hot dogs on a stick. I've never had one.
Yeah.
I've had their lemonade a bunch of times. I've had their frozen lemonade a couple of times, and I've had a cheese stick once, but I've never had a hot dog on a stick. Not once.
Dang, God. That's that on the whole bucket list, dude.
I should have went when that original location before they redid it, before they demolished it. I should have went then. But I just
Well, it's the same thing at the new one.
Yeah, I was just really disappointed that they were so tone deaf about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they were not going to ever admit like that they fucked up. You know, it was so strange that they commented on the post, and like it was just such a tone deaf response. It was just so strange.
Yeah, that's weird. I could see the dude, whoever wrote it off, like taking pleasure in it. He's like, oh yeah.
One time,
smashing it using the hand smasher.
Yeah.
He puts his balls. Yeah.
There was a time where they had like they put out some merch. This is years ago. They put out some merch and they did like these hot dog on a stick. They were kind of like Vans, these slip-on Vans, and I thought that they were like officially branded hot dog on a stick shoes.
That's so cool. That was
the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were not. They were they were just like they were a different company. It was such a like it was so cheesy. I thought if you're gonna put out merch and you're going to pretend like it's this big deal. Oh, we're putting out merch. It was all like the corniest, like cheapest way to they didn't print anything out. It was like all done by a separate company. It was kind of like when YouTubers put out merch through a company that like a company's like, hey, we'll do your merch. We'll give you 20% and then we're going to take 80% and you don't have to come out with any out of pocket costs. It was kind of like that. I'm like, man, I got these fucking things. These Van slip-ons. They weren't even Vans. They were like some cheese company, Buckets or something I think we're called, or I don't even remember. But I was just so disappointed that they would do something like that.
Do you have those shoes?
No, I got rid of them. I think I just put them at the Goodwill because I was so disappointed. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah.
It was just like hot dog on a stick colors. But I was thinking there was going to be some kind of hot dog on a stick branding on there.
Yeah.
But it was not at all. It was just
that would have been cool.
It would have been great, yeah. And I looked at that company's website, and you could basically just print out whatever colored shoes that you want or color combinations. So basically what hot dog on a stick was, we want these colors, good to go, and just sell them through your company. It was really cheese.
Yeah, dick cheese for sure.
Not pepper jack.
No.
Grilled.
Which sounds
fried
amazing.
Cheese, yeah.
Oh God, dude, I'm ready for that. God, it's been forever since I've had it too. I feel like it's disappeared. In Brea Mall they used to have one, and then it was replaced by a Pink's. Oh. And then COVID happened, and Pink's is gone.
Yeah.
And so it's a bummer. It's weird because it's a staple to me. Like when you think of malls.
Yeah.
And food court food.
The one in Santa Rosa is gone too.
I wonder if there's one in the Mall of America. Because it's
I don't
the
think
biggest
there
mall
is.
in the world, and it's a food court icon.
I don't think there is.
Probably not, huh?
No, I just...
We'll have to go ask someone if they've got it with some pap.
I said about... Yeah. So
I got made fun of in Minnesota one time.
Yeah, Washington, Oregon, Hawaii, Florida, Georgia, Colorado, Utah, Texas, Arizona, Nevada.
Shuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said I had when I was on Warped Tour as a roadie, I the tour manager wasn't the nicest lady, and so I didn't feel like bothering her because I did merch and did some performance art before their set. And I remember one time I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get something from a vendor. So I went to a vendor in Minnesota, and I was like, oh, I'll take a Coke. And then he's like, oh, this guy talks so funny. Give him a can of pop. So apparently I talk funny.
You do?
But, yeah.
You talk normal.
Yeah, I don't know.
They talk funny. That's the way they talk.
Oh, man, this guy sounds retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's very offensive, first of all.
Yeah.
And I'm offended by that.
Oh, dude, did I tell you we got to cut one of the episodes?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we'll save that for our OnlyFans.
Yeah, fuck, man. That's too bad.
Yeah, well,
We have no affiliation with Hot Dog on a Stick, so that's
we're
even
okay.
better. Hot Dog on a Stick isn't big fans of the people that I work for, so even better.
Oh, really?
They're not. I wish if they were, we would. I feel like this episode was pretty positive towards Hot Dog on a Stick.
Totally.
The only thing I have to say about them is that they shit on their history by demolishing their original building without saving any of the signage or letting someone else save that signage. That to me is very tone deaf, and also it just seems so strange for a company that was so hardcore about their branding
Yeah.
that they would just not save anything.
Well, this is post 2014, so right,
It was and it was like they made the announcement that they were going to rebuild the structure. I think it was like February 8th, 2020, so right before the pandemic.
Whoa.
They
Yeah.
announced that they were going to rebuild it, and then that it didn't happen because of COVID. And then they all of a sudden, just one day, it was like boom, it demolished. So I think that the plans to demolish it were already okayed by Santa Monica, and it was just waiting for COVID to kind of subside until they, did it. But damn, dude, damn.
Yeah, it's a temple, dude.
I got some great photos of it right at the beginning of the pandemic at night.
Whoa.
It was all lit up. I used to have this camera. It's called a Canon G7X. And during the pandemic, right in the early stages of the pandemic, nobody was around. Nobody was in the streets at all. So I would go out super late at night and get I used to be a neon sign junkie, and I would go sign hunting all the time. And I was able to get some great shots of that location at nighttime, all lit up.
Do you have those?
Around. I do, yeah.
We should share those when this comes out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just got to go back through my Instagram and find them.
Yeah, man, God, I hold Hot Dog on a Stick dear and near my heart.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's cool to see a company that has had that such a cool look for so long and that has stayed so true to their branding throughout these years.
And if you want that iconic costume, you may not be able to buy the official hat, but they do have costumes.
they
Halloween
do?
costumes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it's official. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's not like ripoff.com.
Yeah.
It's like they approved it.
I wonder if the quality is any good, because based on the quality of those Hot Dog on a Stick shoes that I got, I could see them kind of just doing it just to kind of do it. There's a company in China that'll produce these for us, so we'll just go ahead and say, yeah, cool, that's fine.
Yeah,
but who knows?
That's what the spy balloon was about. Yeah,
exactly. Hot Dog on a Stick. They were scouting out Hot Dog on a Stick locations. Yeah. And where was it? In Georgia? Texas?
Probably Texas. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they were
a hotbed of
everywhere.
activity for spy. Anyway.
Yeah, dude, Spy Kids balloon.
Well, Robert, that was a good episode, man.
That was, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go churn some butter right now myself.
Yeah,
some cheese and.
Yeah, cool. That's good.
Yeah, they should have one that just goes directly in the buttocks, in the butthole. You just pump it full of cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how it works, but we'll see.
I think so. Yeah.
But on that note, in Guy we trust.